All right, Greed Ninjas, episode 10, the podcast. It's me, Metal Cat 206 here with Wavy P. Wavy P, say what's up.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
We, as you heard in our last podcast, it isn't posted yet, but it will be posted by the time this comes up.
Yeah.
We went in a little bit. Me and Wavy P went into the rules of Trench Crusade. We were going to break down more of the rules for you, but we got a little carried away and decided to play the game like a little bit with the homies, put together lists, and
What we said was, if you guys are interested in the first place, you'll go ahead and read the rest off. And all that we didn't read off was the new Antioch, the black what?
Black Grail and
Black Grail
Court of
and
the Seven-Headed Serpent.
Serpents. So the only reason why Court of Seven-Headed Serpents is relevant is because our boy is playing them, and the reason why new Antioch is relevant is because I switched off the Sultan to go with them boys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm out here with some Space Marines, basically.
Wavy P has is running New Antioch.
Yeah, but Ryan,
I'm running.
Metallica is running
Trench Pilgrims.
The Trench Pilgrims with fucking
Saint,
real life dreadnoughts.
The Saint Methodius variant, and right now,
New Free Prussia variant.
Yeah, right now, Wavy P is on the State of New Prussia variant of the New Antioch, but he might be changing that depending.
No, it's not that I'm changing it. I think I might be changing my setup a little bit.
Changing your loadout?
Yeah, because I wanted a human. I'm realizing young long range fire is very good. I thought the shock troopers were pretty good, but I didn't get them a chance to really shine for real. The trench cleric, there was no point where fear was relevant, and then I don't know, I'll probably just get my shock troopers iron caparotes.
Nah, the can you guys get iron caparotes?
But I know they okay. Do you mind if we check real quick? To see the potential.
No. We'll do that later.
But I feel like everybody has some sort of item that is similar or that equivalent to like immunizing fear to a degree.
Yeah. The only reason that I know my guys get iron caparotes is part of the lore.
Yeah.
In their thing.
Yeah.
Is about how they face fear using the iron caparote. And there's a particular variant of trench pilgrims that can't have iron caparotes.
Oh, words. They have to take it.
They have to face their fears and shit like that, yeah. But the iron caparotes, this is also a thing that I kind of learned from the follow-up, or from us playing. I think it's weird, right? Mm-hmm. There are some mechanics in games that are fundamental, but then so fundamental, they automatically are countered and are not relevant, except for they're relevant because if you're not countering them, they'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Right? In the sense I'm trying to say, fear is like that, right?
Yeah, where it's like everybody had something to go against fear off rip, because if it was fucking with you, then it would have really fucked you over. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so I think, we never necessarily calculated fear, and I think we should have. That's one of the things I messed up when I was playing against Sleejay's team, is his demons cause fear when they're in that melee range. And I don't know if my shock troopers had anything to counter that, but we kind of forgot about it. Yeah. But it didn't really matter because Nichols was like, pull up, one hit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So I think you do about it anyways, but go ahead.
Yeah, no. So, but that's why I had my team. There is one nun that doesn't have iron caparote. Remember, we couldn't afford the last one.
Save it, yeah.
But she's not naked though.
She got some armor instead.
She got some armor.
Yeah. At least she gets a -1 on that die roll.
But I feel that fear. I mean, fear is -1 dice to attacks when in melee combat with the thing within 1 inch, right? So it'll really fuck up your ability to hit them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my anchorite shrines cause fear.
Yeah.
So if you're rolling -1d to hit it already.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with the toughness they have for injuries and the tough that they have.
And that -1 in that situation would be -1 to, that would be the bottom 2 die.
Right? Bottom 2 die. Yeah. Okay.
And then -2, so on and so forth, as far as that's concerned. And then, because I sometimes I get confused on the -1 die and how the markers work. You know, like plus die is not. So if you activate, for example, a blessing marker, you're not +1 die. You're adding an additional die.
No. If you activate a blessing marker, you get a +1 die.
Okay.
They work opposite of blood markers.
But blood marker, you're not rolling them bottom 2 die. You're adding an extra die to injury roll, no?
Yeah, but also another thing you can do with blood markers is cause if I'm trying to attack you, if my character has a blood marker, right, and I'm trying to attack you, you can spend a blood marker to give him minus dice to the attack.
I forgot. I didn't use that mechanic at all.
Yeah. Well, most of us we're looking to try and kill people.
Yeah.
So we're like burning our blood markers on every time we hit.
But then, like, in situations where, like, nigga, 2 of my niggas got downed in one turn, but, like, the nigga who did it had 2 blood markers in that moment. So, like, had I cashed in the blood markers because I remembered.
I feel you. Shit,
like,
yeah.
Probably low-key would have been a little less. But then, like.
Yeah, because the sniper shot him once.
Yeah, and then, I think, he ignored the out of combat, and then fucking the lieutenant ended up hitting him, and then just caused him, I think, a minor injury because the -3 was armor. You know, which, armor in this game is crucial. Like,
super crucial.
And then, I'll be real, too, like, what is the old saying? Don't bring a knife to a gunfight, bro. In a game where niggas can use guns were reigning supreme. Like, anything that was ranged. And I'm not talking no bow and arrow, nigga. I'm talking about, like, some shoot you down shit. Like, I noticed that, demons, they gotta close in to hit, but, like, they were...
At least with CJ's loadout, his demons have to close in.
Yeah, but, like, bro, with the way that I was playing, at least, like, I have a long range squad, right? Like, artillery.
Well, alright, so he's got a sniper with the sniper rifle that has a 48-inch range, so it covers the whole table. And then he's got a mechanized heavy infantry with the machine gun, which has 36 inches, which also covers the whole table. At least the table we're using, because we don't have a 48 by 48 table, and we don't actually have a 36 by 36 table. That's why our deployment zone is only 3 inches. I seen niggas that got 12-inch deployment zones.
Low-key, would you guys be down to, like, play on the space on the ground or something like that, so we can get more space going?
Oh, the table is so perfect for standing and playing.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we would keep that way.
We could try to find
paintings on there or something.
No, never use those paintings. That's crazy. But we could try to find a larger board or a fold-out board or something that is that big that can be lay on the table.
Let's check some like boxes out with disability or something, right?
Huh?
Some like big ass boxes. Do you have any?
No, like you never seen like table covers that are like that are like just they're kind of like table extenders. Mm. So they're like you get one that's like 48 by 48 and this would be the center part of it and we just put this on top of it. Mm. And then we have a 48 by 48 table.
But if we did use a 48 by 48 table, I'd say this, it would just give more, honestly, the fact that this, what is this, a 24 by 24 or like 36?
It's like 33 or some weird number.
But, okay, boom. I was going to say, if we give me a 48 inch
There's a reason why it's only 3-inch deployment zones.
But, so how big is a deployment zone supposed to be?
I've seen 6 inches and 12 inches.
And that's the thing. If we had a bigger table, I feel like my squad would reign better. Because then it's like, I don't get charged within that 12 inches on a table like this. Because it's like, dash and then a charge is 20 so let me see, 6 inches plus, and then the charge is 12 inches?
Yeah, but there's also a way to get additional distance on a charge of like a D6 or something.
Yeah, but if it's 48 inches, you're not about to move 40 inches in one turn.
No.
Or one activation. I don't think that's happening.
No.
Whereas with this size, it's like, I guess it keeps it fair for the melee units.
But just think about units moving 12 inches in each. That's 24 inches total. They'll only be 24 inches away from each other. If they deploy at the edge of their deployment zones, right? And let's say they have 6-inch deployment zones, right? They deploy at the edge of their deployment zones, so they're already 12 inches closer to each other, right? From 6 to 6.
Well, no, because like if I'm using like a long range unit, I'm gonna deploy at the end of my like.
That's not the situation I'm setting up. I'm just talking about how close can niggas be as close as they can be at the end of like round 1, right? And how close would they be?
A nigga with infiltrator plus a nigga that's at the edge of the deployment zone closer or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like that, I could see that happening where if they both charge each other.
I'm just talking about average troops that get deployed in the deployment zone.
Okay.
Right? So it'd be like 6 inches. They're at the edge of the deployment zone, so that's 6 inches.
So 6 inches already basically, right?
Yeah. So 12.
Yeah. And
then one moves 6 inches and then dashes. So that's 6 more inches. And the other one moves 6 inches and then dashes. So they'll be 36 inches, so they'll be 12 inches away.
From that point, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
pistol range.
That's pistol range, that's shotgun range. That's
long. That's basic range or basic two-handed weapon range Because anything better than that obviously has a little bit better range. But then like that's still not close enough for charge range. Because if you use your regular movement, is charge a risky action? Right?
They wouldn't be able to charge. They wouldn't be able to charge until the second turn.
Because you have to be within that 12 inches first.
Yeah, to charge.
Okay, word. So, would they be able to dash?
You know what's funny though?
Would they be able to dash and then charge potentially?
Would you be able to dash and then charge? Yeah, you can dash and charge.
So dash that 6 inches, and then but then I'll be 18 inches away if that unit. So well, wait. So okay, like you said, they'd be like within that 12 if they both took their maximum movement.
Mm-hmm.
So if they both take their maximum movement, the unit that moves last would be able to potentially charge the unit that's 12 inches away at that point, right?
No. In order for them to be 12 inches away, they both would have had to done the same level of actions. They wouldn't be able to charge each other until round 2.
Yeah, because that charge is 12 inches. That'd be 12 for one unit and not both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that will leave the extra 6 that's unaccounted for, basically. But you're still at range to shoot shit, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. You're still engaged in combat. I feel like that opens up more tactics, though.
What's that?
Something like a board that size.
Yeah. Well, it also allows us to have legit terrain too.
Yeah.
Like you can have larger terrain and more varied terrain and stuff like that.
Because guys, one of the things about it, okay, so one of the things that's great about it that we were doing is it's a miniature agnostic, right? Meaning you have things that look like stuff, so we were able to use like anything in our environment to like go ahead and create the battlefield. If you go ahead and watch a playthrough, you'll see how we're doing shit.
If you want to watch us play sometime, twitch.tv/Metallicat206, and I'll be posting some of the playbacks that I can get on YouTube as well.
Yeah, but with that being said, we're playing with the stuff that we had, and we were still able to do our measurements correctly and have covering things measured out correctly, as well as like the buildings to a degree measured out correctly.
The issue is our bases are not accurate to the size of the units. They're all basically the same size except for some select ones that we made smaller, like the sniper or the Chris's, CJ's, what you call them?
Wretched. Small red one?
The Wretched.
Yeah. So then here's another thing too. So we weren't necessarily able to accommodate the 1.5 inches, or what is it? It's inches from for certain units of bigger bases, right? But then like I guess
I don't know if it's 1.5 inches. They do it in centimeter or millimeters.
Millimeters, 1.5 millimeters or something like that. Where you said it's an extra base, so that model basically takes less range to get into melee unit range, right?
It's not that it takes less range. It's just larger.
So it's in range faster, right?
It's just larger. It's not necessarily about being in range faster because it's measured from the edge of the base, right? Mm-hmm. And you can only start at a certain point. So like no matter the size of the base, it's only going to be able to go so far.
But basically, it's going to be because so melee range is base to base, which is like when that 1 millimeter range. But like if this unit,
1 inch.
Well, that 1 inch. But like if this unit is 1 point, because okay, it's in inches, right? So if this is 0.5 inches longer, that means that it's 1.5 inches for this to be in range because that's its base size, right?
But you're not thinking about it in terms of no matter the size of the base.
Yeah.
Right.
Base to base is just melee.
Wherever, like with the deployment zones and how far you start in, like it doesn't matter the size of the base. That edge is always going to be at that starting 6 inches, right?
Yeah.
What makes a difference is how many people basically can be within melee combat with it.
Yeah.
And it does make it so that if you measure it just one direction, it's basically the same size. But when you start having him turn around and go other directions, then the size makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about stuff like cover and things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, in order for you to have cover, you got to be more fully behind things, right? So you have to have your base fully covered by whatever you're trying to have cover from.
Okay.
And it's like, basically makes for, there's more situations where you have more angles on a larger base.
Okay.
But also more situations where a larger base has angles on you. Pause. It's one of those things where it makes a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as some simple things, it doesn't really make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But for important things like cover and being able to have angles on them, having the size of the, like, CJ's fucking Praetor is huge as shit. Like, niggas got angles on him from everywhere.
And that's also because he's flying, right?
Well, it's just because he's big as fuck.
So it's like, would he stand over cover in certain instances?
Yeah, that type of shit. Like, if we had the actual models and everything was to scale, then we could have scale terrain and everything.
You could have a nigga headshot him or something. Like, from on the ground because he just stands over a wall and he's supposed to be in cover.
Yeah.
Right?
He would still have cover because he would still have the cover if his base is completely covered.
But yeah, if you have the angle to still shoot at a piece of the model, but you can still technically shoot at it, right?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's slightly disadvantages, but it's still good because you can still be.
Well, yeah, it's about the angle to the base.
Oh, angle to the base in order to shoot something.
And then if you want to talk about how tall it is, then you'd be like, yeah, it's whatever the model is.
Mm.
But typically there isn't a whole lot of verticality, but there can be verticality, right?
Because I'm saying like that, is that relevant unit size?
When like it's only relevant when you start having to measure how tall something is, right? Mm-hmm. But typically it's even though war games are 3D, or like oftentimes they play out as 2D matchups, even with cover and stuff. Like people will have high ground and shit like that.
Yeah,
but typically it's just measuring base to base.
Okay. And that makes it a little bit more simple as far as thinking. But then, all right, then question. So your Raw game 1 with CJ, how was that?
Raw game 1 with CJ, it was fun, and I won, but we made a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the mistakes that you made?
Forgetting armor, hella. Mm. He has weapons that ignore armor, but also there were times when it was like, oh, you don't know how many times I forgot my Anchorite Shrines had -3 armor.
Oh, so they were dying and they shouldn't have been.
Yeah. But he was still using that male branch sword, so.
So it didn't matter.
He was. I don't know if he hit my Anchorite Shrine first with it, but at some point he hit him with it, and I'm pretty sure he did end up burning the tough.
Oh damn! Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, off of that one swing.
Yeah.
Damn. But then that's when that armor is really relevant because it's like, would he have survived it potentially, or like a 12 on that crit?
I don't even remember.
Because if he rolls a 12 and -3, 12's the only way to really get it out of combat.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, boom, -3, that goes to a 9 out of combat, but then like, all right, tough, so then you gotta hit another fucking 12 in order to kill that bitch.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with those niggas. You need shit there, and that's where, if I could.
Oh yeah, we didn't do his armor in one particular case. I remember. I had my Stigmatic Nun blast the shit out of one of his dudes, and we didn't calculate his armor.
And
it died.
So this guy died, but he could have survived?
Might have survived. We don't remember.
Oh, so you guys both had that.
So yeah, we had mistakes aplenty in the first game.
Well, how'd it play out?
He ended up having to morale retreat. What I found out, the reason why he be having to retreat so often off morale, right, is he's using his Wretched and his Yoke Fiend wrong.
Yeah. I
read this whole shit on the internet. You're supposed to use the Yoke Fiend and the Wretched. You give a torture instrument to the Yoke Fiend, and he just fucking whips the shit out of your Wretched, and you use your gobetic powers like
the transfer blood markers across the shit. Yeah.
And you just use them to fuel that, and you just send out everybody else to really hit.
So it's not wrong to target the Wretched and the Yoke Fiend to kill those niggas anyways. But the issue is the fact that he's still rushing you with demons. He's not fully utilizing the demon's ability to just take blood markers off the fucking Wretched.
Yeah.
Because then it just makes the Wretched go back to normal, right?
But no, yeah. Well, he could take blood markers off of any unit that's not demonic or Black Grail.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, is the Wretched demonic?
Wretched is not demonic.
Yeah, and the Wretched is supposed to be there for the Yoke Fiend to torture.
Yoke Fiend to torture because it has a special ability that it can hit allies. So you put the torture emblem on it, you attack it, and then it fuels his goetic powers. Mm-hmm. But the thing he chose pride. His sin that he chose is pride, right? Mm-hmm. It gives him it's like too proud to fall or something like that, right? Where it's a goetic 2 power, so he can spend two markers, and on his Praetor, whenever it goes down, it doesn't.
Just whenever it happens.
Yeah, he has to spend the 2 blood in order to do it.
But it's like a memento mori, but all the time.
It's not memento mori because it's for down, not out of action.
Oh, okay.
But he does have tough, so that he can use that goetic power combined with tough to be able to go when he goes out of action. He goes to down and then ignores down. So it's like nothing happens. So it's like Memento Mori, his tough.
Yeah.
If you combine
for 2 blood markers.
Yeah, for 2 blood markers.
And then you can go back to like consistently being able to ignore out of action for 2 blood markers every turn anyway, so.
Well, ignore down.
Or ignore down every turn. Is that every turn, or is that only once?
As long as he has the blood markers, he can do it.
So when I knock it down, then it's like, okay, I spend the 2 blood markers to roll, and then boom, he's not. Or it's like he goes down, he's like, all right, 2 blood markers I spend, and he can spend it from anywhere on the field.
Anything that's not demonic or black rail, so your guys too, he can heal your guys basically.
So he can like start killing my niggas, and then like I kill him, and he's like, oh, let me heal your guys real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. The goetic powers are nuts, and some of the like, Pride doesn't have a lot of powers, right? But it has some pretty good ones, and it has like this this Pride of the Praetor or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you automatically, if you have this on this guy and they're in combat still, if you have it on your Praetor or your Sorcerer, if they're still in combat, you can't fail a morale check.
Really?
Yeah, so he can sit there and just battle.
Until everybody's dead?
Yeah. Just running around with the Mail Branch sword, charging people.
So, if the Praetor's dead, though, their ability's gone?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means you have to focus the Praetor. The Praetor's so fucking hard to kill anyways.
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't do any research on any abilities that my lieutenant may have outside of the fact. I think he just gets plus on fucking...
Nah, they just get that shit because they're demons. Like,
oh.
I mean, they like... The lieutenant has abilities, of course, right? Like the war prophet has abilities. Like there's this one I don't use. It's called like loudspeaker. It allows like each unit within 8 inches. It's a risky action, but it allows each unit within 8 inches of it to charge. Like I think it's like 3 or 6 inches or something like that.
I was using my lieutenant like a regular unit. I don't know what the hell his extra abilities are. I just know he has +2 to range and +2 to melee. Yeah.
No, the core, the dudes that you have to have in your army have an ability for sure.
So I have to look at that.
Yeah.
Damn, man, you're not letting us check while we're live. Alright, never mind. I'll just leave it to be a question. Or can I just look it up on my own phone?
You can look it up on your phone. It's just that I can't.
I'm not gonna break I'm not gonna break the continuity or nothing. But I did want to check it just because I was like, damn, bro. I it's not that I forgot. Well, I did forget what it was, but let me see. I ain't been closing tabs recently, so I can't go super far back.
But
check for shit.
I think I stumbled onto something strong with the anchorite shrines.
Yeah, and, I think I'm gonna be real. Everything has its scales because it's like I feel like I thought that what I was doing was pretty fucking strong too, and then now I'm starting to think like if I would have chosen the assassins, how strong would they have been?
Nah, but the only difference between my strategy and your strategy is yours actually requires tactics.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like my guys, it just requires them to beat them.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, because here's how I thought about it going into it, right? I was like, all right, I want 2. If I'm gonna have 2 anchorite shrines and I can give them range, right? I saw the trench mortar and I saw the heavy flamethrower. I was like, all right, Barry Bulwark is gonna stand in the front and make it so people can't get to Perry Pounder. Yeah. Right.
So Perry Pounder can continue to pound.
Just fucking pound. Yeah. He's gonna be the Bulwark and he's gonna pound. So I was like, heavy flamethrower in the front and fucking howitzer in the back, just jamming people. And then the stigmatic nuns flying around the battlefield with their 8 inches of movement, blasting people with automatic pistols. And Wavy P had the greatest comment about automatic pistols after he saw the work of the machine gun. He's like, them things are fucking mini machine guns.
Oh, that's crazy. So, my bad. This is one of the things that I did not know my lieutenant could do, which I guess could be problematic, but it could also be good. He has an ability called On My Command. So once per turn, as an action, the lieutenant can instead force the opponent to activate one of their models that the lieutenant can select from amongst the models they can see. This ends the activation of the lieutenant. So it's like towards the end of my action. Instead of me,
you do all your bullshit that you want to do.
And like, all right, move that one.
Activate him, Yeah, that could be, but you see what I'm saying about your strategy, like your characters,
way more like
your shit requires more thought than my shit. My shit is just I got 2 stigmatic nuns, I got 2 anchorite shrines, and my war prophet.
You know what I like though, Brian?
You're either hitting a lot or you're hitting heavy.
It's about being on flavor, because the pilgrims were what? They were those niggas that are just looking at the glyphs of God and out here fucking shit up with the power of it, right? The Sultanate. They hear God's word and they're out here fucking shit up with special abilities based off of that. My niggas is on the front lines every day against the supernatural and surviving for no reason outside of human. Oh. Niggas out there with like, hey, we don't want money. We need the best engineer society can offer. We need you guys as elite, social elites. The oligarchs really got to get active for real because they the only niggas people really respect, and they only niggas that can really afford to understand battle tactics. You know what I'm saying? Even my lieutenant, he's just a rich nigga. Look at this. Look at this. It's so whack. I hate it so much because everybody else.
I love my war prophet. Looks so war prophet-y.
No. But
he hears the word and he can see it.
All right. Do you know how because I don't think we read these ones to the chat. New Antioch. So okay, low-key, I'm gonna read these ones. So lieutenant. Lieutenants are leaders of small squads or platoons of the new Antioch soldiers, playing a fundamental role of the distant front line of trench crusade, displaying unwavering resolve, preserving unity and morale of their troops. Lieutenants might be the favored son or daughter of a noble family, gained rank by impressing their superiors with exceptional strategic acumen and audacious bravery. So they're just brave, strategic niggas. They're like Shikamaru. You know what I'm saying?
What do they look like?
They look regular.
Nah, man, he look like a nigga that's doing war shit about
he
holy
Acadian
shit.
Without upgrades.
He does look like a fucking
Acadian without upgrades,
but with like a knight's helmet on.
He's Commissar Yarick without the claw.
Yeah, exactly.
And a regular helmet, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, he's cool on some World War I shit with the bayonet on his back and shit and the sword on his side.
No, but one thing I did want to talk about in particular about what's great about this game and the lore, right? One thing that's great about the game is low-key lethal as fuck.
No, everything is lethal, and that's one of the things we were talking about. When it comes to me switching my team up, I gave my guys pistols because I was like, oh, they cost 7, but I mean, they costed 10. And I was like, I just thought pistols would be good, but like only 1 die roll and then 1 on injury even after hit. Like, it's kind of whack. When I could have just given them the grenades after I found out the extra +4 to range was so good. Plus that sharpener.
Their grenades are like pistols for them.
Yeah, and then the assault charge so I can get into melee and then do an immediate extra action afterwards.
I mean, if you want to be, that's what I'm saying as far as your shit actually requires more knowledge of the game than my shit does.
Yeah.
Like it requires some knowledge in the game in the sense of as we go through.
Fuck shit up. You're gonna point your gun somewhere. Stuff's gonna die. My shit's like. He's somebody important. Alright, all you niggas charge him. He's dead. Alright, Lieutenant, tell him to move, and then let's all focus him next, you know? Because everybody has high damage potential, but it's all...
No, but what I was going to say is like this, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I need to learn, as far as depth in the game, is deeper campaign shit and higher cost St. Methodius armies, because I can get up to 2 equipment on each of my anchorite shrines. And they got shit like holy diesel engines and fucking other types of shit. So it's like, that's what will change their impact later in the game if I choose they can get automatic gas masks, right? They get gas masks as part of their equipment where that becomes part of the shit in there so they're no longer affected by gas, right? Like that type of shit where it's like what is going to be the right thing to equip them with because that's going to be crucial to keeping them alive later or having them have the most impact when troop sizes are larger and costs are higher.
Speaking of which, impact-wise, I haven't looked at any future weapons my warband could potentially get because like I was kind of really focused on the strategy of how I was trying to like use these niggas, and I think my fire team's got to change up a little bit too. You know, like I feel like mechanized infantry should probably either be rolling around with the sniper, or lieutenant.
You can always choose a new fire team at the beginning of every match.
No, I'm probably rolling with the same guys. Oh yeah, but I mean like I'm gonna change up how I divvy them up. Like the shot.
That's what I'm saying. You can choose who's in fire teams at the beginning of every battle.
Yeah, okay. And then also...
It's not like you're stuck with those fire teams. It's just, you make those fire teams every battle.
Yeah. So I'm thinking probably getting rid of the trench cleric because he was already 60 off rip plus all his equipment. So I was like, I wasn't really using him to like do nothing. But the fear thing wasn't really something I was paying attention to. Then when fear happens, then fuck it, we'll just see what happens. But I'm getting rid of the trench cleric, probably get an extra shock trooper and a yeoman, and then I'm gonna just drop the trench cleric and get a yeoman, and then I'm gonna have my I'm gonna have a shock trooper team, and then I'll have I might, because I wanted it to, okay, I'll probably drop the human and probably get extra shock trooper and have my shock trooper be on a fire team with my medic, and then have the other 2 shock troopers have an infiltrator with that extra plus 10 ducats, and then have this other nigga, the extra shock trooper, just kind of, because they can match each other in the speed they're trying to go and attack shit, and what I really want is I want a unit that can go around and down stuff, so that she can ignore armor on niggas that are down and then just put them out of combat from there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you look at your shock troopers, if you look at the shock troopers with the tank splitter swords and the grenades, right?
Yeah.
And you look at them as a fire team, then you have, if you do it right against the right enemy in the right location, right? You have 4 attacks against 1 enemy if you want, in 1 activation.
Yeah.
If you go grenade, charge, tank splitter sword, grenade, charge, tank splitter sword.
I think it's too low grenade placement because like these niggas are charging in the battle, and now you're seeing why. I'll probably just with cuts try to afford a med kit on them or something, remove extra blood markers, or I think a med kit does it remove a blood marker? Or does it like make them go from down to
I do not know what a med kit does.
I gotta check because what's it?
Never once thought about buying a med kit for my troops.
Well, my niggas might need one because like you're running in and you're throwing a grenade at the nigga he's engaged in melee combat with.
Oh, true. I forgot. After you send the first one, yeah. No, but you could throw the grenade behind him 2 inches.
Okay, where and aim at either another unit or. Yeah. That's probably just a more strategic option, anyways. Yeah. And then like I don't know anybody that doesn't have a gun that's used to really hit shit, they're getting a grenade. Grenades are automatic. That's like it's gonna be the range weapon for everybody on the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man. There's no long range one-handed weapons, are there?
What do you mean?
Are there any long range?
Pistols are one-handed?
No, but they're not long range.
No. The heavy long range shit is two-handed.
Only two-handed, right? Yeah. It's heavy and then like certain two-handed weapons.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, man, I can't give my medic. I mean, I could give my sniper a pistol, but then like automatic pistol or something. But then it's like I gotta make them engage niggas now. You know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna be it, but.
You could give your sniper an automatic pistol for when niggas get close.
And then so he has to switch to it, and then he also has a.
Oh wait, you can only have a two-handed. Yeah,
weapon,
you're right. My bad. Yeah, you can only have one two-handed weapon.
See, that's what I was thinking. Like if there's any longer ranged one-handed weapons potentially, and I don't know if there are.
No, because it's rifles and shit after that. It's pistols and then rifles.
Unless later on I get access to sort of like a hand cannon type of weapon. Which I don't know if those exist in this world, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, but they do have this anti-material rifle that costs glory points.
It's still two-handed?
I mean, it's anti-material rifle.
So what I end up doing is giving that to my sniper priest and then giving my lieutenant the sniper.
Can the lieutenant can equip anything, right?
Any weapon, any armor.
You wouldn't want to give him the anti-material rifle? You want the sniper holding it?
Mm-hmm. He's divine. It's by God's glory that he has the perfect and truest aim. That's why he has a sniper. Otherwise, I would have given this. I was thinking about buying 2 snipers and then moving my lieutenant around like a sniper instead.
I think
in combat. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna take advantage of the grenades and the assault, and then having a offhand weapon. So I might change them out to being grenaded. I think I did have him with a grenade and like an axe or a sword. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like, he can grenade, assault, and then he can do the same thing, just lesser than what the those niggas are doing.
What really trips me out is
maybe I might go with a two-handed melee weapon for him too. By the way, because he can go two-handed melee, plus he can still use a grenade at range.
But what really trips me out, because with all this, I think that Trench Crusade is really going to be a revolution in wargaming, because it's actually like way easier to pick up than Warhammer. They encourage you to use your own pieces and shit, and the rules right now, at least the playtest rules, are available to everybody.
Yeah, because it's like, and it's funny about it, it's like when you and I are talking about this and we're thinking about it, we're not thinking about it from the way that we have pieces on the board, dog. Like, I'm thinking about it like this cinematic movie that a nigga was playing. You know? Like, I'm thinking about my fucking nigga really.
No, but when you really realize like when you talk about cinematic, I think it's dope when you have a fucking howitzer or trench mortar hit it down to niggas and they just like you know what I mean? Like that's right. Like what a trench mortar should be doing.
Getting back out there, getting to it type shit.
But also, what's so cool about how they do blood markers? If you read the narrative on blood markers, they represent all sorts of damage in combat. Mm-hmm. They represent all sorts of damage in combat. Like it could be getting concussed. It could be psychological damage. It could be getting physically hurt. It's all the different types of trauma that are associated with the battlefield. Yeah. Right.
But those are for injuries that you roll for after.
No, I'm saying blood markers.
Oh.
They represent. Remember, every injury comes with a blood marker, right? That's not a no effect.
Yeah, but basically, it's also representing is the fact that it's doing this amount of additional damage, though, right?
Well, the blood marker itself represents the damage of just being in war, like psychological trauma, stress, fucking, it's not exactly that they get shot and they take 2 damage. It's like they get shot and the blood marker represents just the trauma of being in war.
what also, in my opinion, represents too is like the ability that anything can kill a nigga, right? Because like that can lead to a nigga dying even faster, like all the traumas of war type shit. So it does make sense that they use that system because then it makes you think about it a little bit more too. Because it's like might not have gotten exactly hit with something because of the range of something, he's still getting affected. Like CJ's demons, for example, the niggas cause PTSD to motherfuckers basically, which is why you take blood markers by being in physical combat with them. You know?
Oh no, he has the crown of hellfire.
Oh, and what is the Crown of Hellfire doing?
Crown of Hellfire at the end of his activation, all enemy units within 1 inch, take a blood marker, and then because it has fire on it, they take an additional blood marker.
And then we still have to calculate the fear bonus as well, right? What does fear do?
Fear is -1 dice when attacking in melee with a unit that has fear.
Okay, word. So it just basically makes it so that you don't hit your melee attacks in that range, and also gives you extra blood markers just for being next to that motherfucker that they could use to then make sure that his praetor doesn't go down in the same fucking turn.
You know what's wild?
Yo.
Engaging my war prophet or my 2 anchorite shrines in melee is kind of crazy, but also it's not, if you send the right troops at them, it's not bad for you to be in melee with them because every one of their weapons have risky on them. Mm-hmm. So every time they attack with them and they hit, they take a blood marker themselves.
But if they fail, they end activation?
No.
You said it has risky.
But it's not a risky action. They just have the keyword risky.
Okay. And risky, it obviously makes you take a blood marker when it hits.
When it hits, yeah.
Okay. So it's like, they're going to always at least take 1 blood marker for either attacking or for getting attacked because they're usually turning any fucking lethal damage into a minor, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can stack blood markers on them niggas, but then, okay, you gotta get a 12, and then after the 12, okay, then you gotta get past the top. So it's like bare minimal, you still have to roll 2 nat 12s on injury in order to kill your fucking anchorite shrine. So those niggas are definitely okay.
Yeah. 2 nat 12s to kill them? Yeah. And then also...
That's a guaranteed, nigga. That's not like you can hit a 9 and it's okay. Like,
yeah, no. That's just not working. But also, so what's great about all the troops overall, when you consider that the War Prophet has an ability that allows him to remove up to D3 blood markers on a unit within I think it's 6 inches.
Yeah.
As long as he succeeds on action, he has to make an action to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that combined with the stigmatic nuns being able to turn blood markers into blessing markers, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not putting at least 2 blood markers on them, or 3 or 4, niggas is gonna be talking about, all right, remove, let's say 1 or 2 or 3 from him, and then this stigmatic nun that you didn't kill, you hit her once, didn't kill her, she gonna turn that into a blessing. So now you fucking with her, it's gonna be much more difficult.
Yeah, because she's not gonna take damage anymore like that. Yeah.
I'll let her take damage, but I'll fuck up your hits and shit.
Because then you just turn it into blessing markers.
Yeah.
And then just make sure niggas get capped.
Yeah.
I want to play again. I ain't gonna lie. I missed the battlefield. Do you know when we're doing starting the adventure or starting the campaign?
Starting the campaign? No, I do not. I have not made a ledger of those particulars just yet.
In order for us to see what the new list is on ducats and making those prices, you want to start building for it right now, and then just have C do it whenever he gets his opportunity to, and then we can just start running them.
What?
No, I was saying that you said you haven't built a ledger, so that means you have to repurchase things for your team.
Mm-mm. I'm talking about when we're gonna have the matches and how we're gonna match up.
Oh yeah, I thought we were doing. So the way we're doing it, by the way, guys, is like, would you say like a round robin of sorts?
Of sorts, just to make it so that nobody is at like 4 matches when somebody else is at 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, we're playing a whole bunch of quick play. We basically been doing quick play scenarios. Essentially,
we didn't do the quick play rules. We did the campaign rule set with a couple of battles that we just did like 1 battle each, but we didn't do a full campaign. We just did the first battle for a campaign, basically.
Yeah.
But we haven't done any of the between battle, after action stuff or anything like that, because that all has to be tracked.
Okay.
But yeah, we have everything we need for the first battle. It's just if people want to rejigger their teams and work out different loadouts and stuff like that before we start the campaign.
And that's one of the things that I'm doing right now. I'm probably going to switch out those pistols I'm already going for those grenades. And then, like I'm saying, probably drop a trench player. You can get that shock trooper. They give my niggas a name, too. I didn't know you guys had names for everybody.
Yeah. The thing says to give your guys names.
Okay, word. I guess I skipped a step. I just grab some troops.
It's easier to remember like who does what when you give them names though too.
Word, because like you'll have two units that are the same thing, but it's like when they got different names, the units are slightly different. Like I plan on having an extra shock trooper, but he's not gonna have.
Sister Soldier has an iron caparote. Karen does not. Karen has to face her fears on her own, and she's afraid of black people.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to probably and then if I'm gonna have 3, then that means I'm gonna have 2. I'm gonna call my combat medic the Shredder.
The Shredder. Oh yeah, with that Misericordia.
Mm-hmm. Either she's getting the name of Shredder or my heavy machine mechanized infantry is, because he's gonna be shredding shit from a distance. But I'm gonna have 2 assault teams. Well, yeah, I got 2 assault teams that are straight melee.
I think CJ should deploy the Yoke Fiend and the Wretched in the middle.
To where they can't get hit.
With the male branch nigga, and then put Hocus the Locust on the side somewhere.
Basically, you want to protect those niggas, essentially, is what you're saying.
Well, like, the problem is, those Wretched beat, like, that Wretched, if he has a Wretched in line of your machine gunner, it's gonna die. Yeah. 3 shots at the bitch.
It's gonna die, because I'm cashing blood markers on the last shot anyways. So.
Yeah.
That's what I was learning the strategy was with the machine gun. It's like, alright, stack blood markers, and catch them all last shots so you can kill them. Yeah. And then as far as him, but he can only use those blood, and that's the thing too, I have to kill it, because then he can just move those blood markers onto something else that he's attacking, right?
No. He doesn't move blood markers around.
Wait, so what
he just uses them for his goetic powers.
Oh, so then he uses goetic powers what do the goetic powers do?
The only one he has right now is Too Proud to Fall.
Oh, so that's the one that basically prevents him from getting down to his Okay, that's not actually an issue, because like last time, like my team has a very big.
But you never even really hit that dude. You beat him without. But that's what I'm saying. He has so many other troops that are easier to kill than like his main niggas that he has morale checks that he has to make, like
because his other niggas get killed so easily.
Yeah.
And is it the same thing with you though? Kind of.
No.
Well, because I got rid of your stigmatic nuns, and then I think you had your commander left, and then your anchorite shrines, and then I think I had 3 left, and then you had 3 left, and then I failed to check, so it was a draw.
Yeah, because of the victory points.
Yeah, but it was a draw because we were still evil in the battlefield, but all you had left was your command. The nuns, I got them out of there pretty quickly, but that's because I didn't get a chance to really, I guess, activate again after I did finally engage them. Like you said, like, if you kill them, if you attack them, you better kill them, nigga. Because if you don't, like, they're definitely gonna hit back very hard.
They're my expendable troops that outperform their cost.
Oh, word. So they're supposed to die anyways, but if they don't die, it's like
if they don't die, it's all fucking like, butter, nigga.
Yeah. It's like a what is it? It's I forget it, but it's an insect where it's like after you play 6 land, you exactly copy this insect and it's a 1/1.
Oh, you're talking about like it's like Scoot Mob or Scoot Swarm?
Yeah, Scoot Swarm.
No, but that's like the main core of my army is the Anchorite Shrine and the 2 Anchorite Shrines and the War Prophet. Yeah. Because like they're not gonna die. Yeah. The Stigmatic Nuns are just out there just racking up bonuses. Yeah. Everything they do is a fucking bonus.
That's the thing. You have unkillable troops. Like my niggas will die. And that's the thing. Like I have to either come up with a real strategy for getting rid of the shrines, because once they start moving too, it's like. It's like, alright, here comes a mortar shot, here comes a flamethrower shot, like I have strike teams that can do something about that, but it's like, I'm gonna have to gang up on niggas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where it's like, I'm gonna have to have, like, okay, it's 4 attacks and 1 nigga, but then it's like, alright, I gotta have 2 more niggas go and rush those niggas too.
Yeah, because like, the 4 attacks is just to get them out. 4 attacks just to get them out.
It's just to stack blood tokens. Yeah. It's just like, alright, so that's, the niggas like, let me cash it on 6. Yeah. Alright, roll 1/6, so let me re-roll these and hopefully.
Oh, if you cash in the Bloodthirst, it actually adds a die to your roll.
Oh, word.
So it becomes a 3d6
for the Bloodthirster sword on.
No, if you Bloodthirst is if you cash in 6 blood tokens, it adds a die to the roll. Not a +1 die, it adds a die to the roll, so it becomes a 3d6.
So you're like, do you take the total of 3d6? Kind of
Total of 3d6, yeah.
And his male branch sword basically already has that attached to it?
Basically.
That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, demons.
But that's why I think he can't afford certain things, because that male branch sword is expensive. Like, you notice most of his niggas don't have range.
Not at all. Yeah, I didn't even know they had range.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who in his unit has range?
How much does a male branch sword cost?
I don't know, but it was a unique thing, and I know it's expensive for doing 3d6 off rip.
Is crazy.
Crazy, yeah. Come on.
That's why he was coming at me with that charge, and I'm like, damn, ain't shit I could do about that, because I got to retreat, can't even shoot off rip.
That's the deleter. He got the delete button for sure. I think with some massaging, his fucking troop unit could be fucking crazy threatening. Like Hocus the Locust, he's starting to learn a strategy. He's talking about a strategy where he dashes with him to start off with, because he needs to be able to get the charge off rip, right? Because he has no melee, or he has no ranged. Literally, Hocus the Locust, he's a plague locust or something like that, cannot do ranged attacks.
Oh, so that's also why he kind of went in with that melee combat strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's his prophet?
No. It's a plague locust.
One of his elites?
I don't know if it's an elite.
It's a regular unit doing that shit?
Yeah, but it doesn't have range attacks.
Okay. And that's the unit that has a male branch sword?
No. That's the one that does the double attacks.
Oh, word. So it has 2 melees?
It has 2 melees. Remember? He can charge and then melee.
Yeah.
With no penalty.
Yeah. No, that's kind of ridiculous. Do you have another table like that size?
No.
I'm trying to think about how we're going to play, though. I do want to play again. We're talking all these strategies, and I'm ready for it. I'm wondering if I have a table that size in the crib. We just like put those bitches right next to each other, right?
It wouldn't exactly be 48 by 48. There would be a long side.
So what we would... So... we need something with the same dimensions on both sides?
That's why we should just get a table topper, basically.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that off stream then, no problem. But, alright, got you. It sounds like you're actually liking the demons a lot more than you originally thought you would. Though.
No. So what I think is cool is that everybody found different little cool strategies, right? That like the not that these are problems, but the only issue with you guys' strategies and mine is you guys just require more knowledge of the game. I got something where it's like, oh, I just get 2 strong units, and that's the benefit. Right? I don't have to think too hard about that. Right? And I got these requirements on how I can build. I have 1 less stigmatic nun maximum, whatever, right?
But you're not tripping because you're not really built around stigmatic nuns. Like you said, they're just the bonus units outperform their cost. Yeah. Which is why they also increase the cost on them hoes. Right?
No. That was just because so what they did was they calculated them with the standard armor, because they have to have standard armor if you buy them for St. Methodius.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that they recalculated the cost; it was just already reapplying a certain.
Yeah, it was already applying the cost.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's dope shit. Were there any other units that you're planning on potentially adding to your warband? Maybe once you expand your ducats.
When I expand my ducats, not in the second battle, because once again, I don't want to go up to 6 troops. I want to go up to like 7 if I go up. Because if I go up to 6, the only thing I'd be adding is like a stigmatic nun, and then that's just a unit that can die and put me at morale checks. You feel me? So I want to stay at 5 in the second battle.
You want to go up to 7 where you're able to afford it and actually kid them out anyways. Shit.
Exactly.
See, and then what will be at for that? Like about like 1,100. I mean.
Second battle you have 800.
Start with 7. Second battle is 8.
Third battle is 9.
Okay, so we're only getting an extra 100 ducats anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, it's not like niggas can do much of that shit.
That's enough for a stigmatic nun with the automatic pistol.
Well, I mean, it raises your threshold on morale checks if you do get the 1 unit from because regardless it's 3 to 3, right? Yeah. So you're like, you'd rather just keep it at that until you can go ahead and raise it to like 7, so then you have to drop like 4, right? Yeah. Instead. Okay, and that makes sense. So, but okay then, so what, you probably like wait until you can put 2 stigmatic nuns in your team then, essentially?
I can only add 1 more stigmatic nun because there's a limit on St. Methodius of 3.
So would you add a nun and something else?
A nun and, there's this really basic trench pilgrim nigga
Yeah, it comes with like a rifle or something like that.
Yeah, some shit like the real basic nigga.
Yeah, and he has. I think
The
he
yeah
also comes with the too.
the regular version of him also has a martyr penitent that can be done, but Saint Methodius doesn't believe in the martyr metachrist.
Oh, the nigga that costs like 30 or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Does he come up?
yeah.
Okay.
But they don't believe in the metachrist, so
You should give him a gun.
yeah, some shit like that.
Can't you just go with like a basic infantry nigga? That's like cheaper?
That's what I'm saying.
This,
There is no cheaper one. Other than that, it's just ecclesiastic prisoners.
Okay. I thought your niggas was like 25 or something like that, or 30. No.
I don't know. I like. I haven't really gone deeper than the stigmatic nuns and the anchorites because
That's what you gave about.
yeah. Until I have to expand my units,
Mm.
I'm just gonna. I'm probably just gonna upgrade the anchorite shrines or the stigmatic nuns. Give her an iron capirote.
To be real with you, as I expand my units, all I'm doing is adding extra shock troopers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only have one sniper priest, I can only have one combat medic, I can only have one heavy mechanized infantry. Everybody can be equipped with grenades, I think, except the niggas that have two-handed weapons. And then, like, my shock troopers are supposed to be, like, the brunt force anyways, where it's like they're supposed to be rushing in and slicing shit up and getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that.
Oh, I heard though. I'm pretty sure CJ read this to me. Grenades can ignore the requirement for one-handed and what's it called? The limitation.
Oh yeah, so I could still equip him with extra
the
like.
sniper can have grenades.
Oh word! So he can is he able to throw a grenade and shoot or that?
No, you can't throw a grenade and shoot.
But he's not gonna be charging anything.
No, but he can also have a grenade. So like, if somebody gets within 12 inches of him,
yeah,
then he can have shrapnel.
But
or not shrapnel, blast.
It's only good if it's more than one unit that's charging, I guess, at him or trying to come at him, which I guess I understand. But then like I'm usually gonna have him in an area where you have to like breach like 3 or 4 units in order to pass through to get to him anyways. Because there's gonna be a party that's gonna be literally out there to attack. So it's like, all right, if you niggas are trying to make it to my front line anyways, then like I'll just activate these niggas to go ahead and charge over here anyways, and that's like anywhere from 8 to 12 attacks right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you because that's have assault in order for you to charge afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, does that also apply to incendiary grenades?
I mean, I think it applies to all grenades.
I gotta check because I know I have incendiary grenades as options too, but I gotta see what they do exactly because I don't want to be burning my niggas. But then like also I know lots of niggas don't have flame like reduction and stuff like this. I think does this demons have anti-flame shit?
Demonic, yeah, they have anti-fire shit. They're demonic.
So it's only really affecting you then, right?
Yeah.
Might be worth it, but I guess I'll see because there'll probably be like one nigga that has like a flame grenade or something like that for specific situations rather. And then does the incendiary grenade also have charge though or assault?
Probably, I don't know.
You gotta check that shit. But yeah. What else was I thinking? Would you ever plan on picking a new warband and like maybe playing with different units or something like that?
I mean, what I would like, what would be awesome is if we get 4 people, right, and we could do 2 believer side and two non-believer side.
I mean, it seemed like we're gonna have Shell do the non-believer side because she was
gonna do. She was gonna do trench pilgrims because she wanted
really?
the stigmatic nuns because she wanted titties.
Oh, word. Okay, never mind. Forgot about that part. At first, it sounded like she wanted to do the demons, and then she saw titties and was like, "No, titties only."
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think Ryan can understand this game. So, do you want to try to explain it to him?
We'll see what he can pick up. Cause like he was fucking with it. He thought it was cool when I showed it to him online. He's like, "Oh, niggas is serious. They're bringing out the ruler.
Yeah.
I got these models." He's like, "Oh shit, who's fucking up who? They shooting what? Oh, niggas is doing that. Niggas is doing this."
So he was with that part.
So he was with it. Like when if he needs like the full. He can't. He doesn't have imagination.
Yeah.
So he needs like you gotta have the actual terrain. You gotta have the actual models, and then you gotta be fucking them up.
Because he's going to be looking at this and he'd be like, "What's this type stuff on the board?" Yeah, I got you. Yeah. But hey, that's everything as far as that I can think of for. Because I mean, I can talk about my experience real quick too. I'll say this. I was extremely excited to get it done. The hardest process really was to building my team, and then like when we were playing, it got real intense because I was having fun and I also like grew attached to my units and didn't want niggas dying. But it's like when you see the lethality of the game, you kind of appreciate it. It's like it's actually like I was thinking that we're gonna be over here for like hours. Like, and I think we kind of were to a degree, because that's because we had to keep referencing rules. But
Yeah.
to be real with you, activations were a lot faster than I thought they were.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's gonna be kind of a revolution in wargaming, with especially if they can see about expanding units, not units, but like yeah, units and stuff. But like how the question you really have to ask yourself is how much play and how much room is there in their system of plus dice, minus dice, blood markers, blessing markers, and then weapons that all play with that.
Yeah.
And their injury system and their action system.
Yeah. So basically adding things that are still balanced, but then seeing how that like increases like the playability of it, or what do you mean?
Right. Okay. Exactly. Where it's like, if they introduce a new unit to the Trench Pilgrims, or they introduce a whole new faction that works a particular way, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that'll be like after people kind of understand the different factions and what they do, anyways. And then I guess as the lore continues to build, is when they add an extra faction. But then also if they include that extra playstyle, it's like, I guess, like, and that's why I was asking, like, is there another?
But think about Warhammer 40K, for example, mm-hmm. right? Do they ever really add factions, or do they add units for factions?
Yeah, units for factions, and I feel like that's probably what they would do.
Right.
But then this game is also a direct competitor, so in order to increase like people playing, like they probably would add extra factions just for fun. Because it's like when you think about it too.
I mean, there could be the Jewish believers.
Right, and then also too, like there's a lot of religions, because you can add Chinese, you can add Japanese, you can add.
But this is about the Abrahamic religions.
Oh, Abrahamic religions specifically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's focused on like the believers and hell.
Oh,
it's like the hell actually exists.
Well, then you could introduce these other religions as well, but then you just introduce them as like hellish demonic entities or versions of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like into the Abrahamic religions, those would be technically like demonic to a degree, right?
No, but it's more like literally the
like Yahweh,
Christian
God,
Yahweh,
Catholicism shit.
Yeah, but also all of the Abrahamic religions that believe in Yahweh or the one God, right? The one God that is above gods, that are sects in this, right? Like you have the Islamic sect with the Sultanate, and you have the Christian sect with New Antioch and the Trench Pilgrims, right? And then you just have the shit from hell, and the shit from hell can be anything. You got all different courts of hell and shit like that, because there's all sorts of Lord of Hell. So adding hell factions is not a problem. But like, if you were gonna add like other factions,
Dante's Inferno based shit.
Yeah. If you're gonna add other factions to believers versus hell, it would have to be some sort of splinter of some sort of flavor on Abrahamic. It doesn't have to exactly be one or the other. It could be like how they do in Dune, where it's like the Orange Christian Bible, where like these different sects that were separate before came together because of whatever reasons. Like New Antioch is not just one set of believers; it's like multiple believers.
Or it could even have kind of like, you know how like there's like the Lutheran Church and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it's like a version of it that still fights demons, but they're against the regular version of them. And I think they do a pretty good job with introducing that through the reasonings of the variants. You know what I'm saying? But then they could also introduce, I feel like, because like what are all the Abrahamic religions, right? There's the Muslim one.
It's Muslims, Christians, and Jews.
All right, so and they probably don't want anything Jewish because Jews probably take offense to it.
But I don't know, but it could be dope.
It would be dope.
They could have golems, dude. Do you know about like the Jewish mythology on golems and shit?
But if they put golems in, they're gonna put goyim in and shit like that. And there's a lot of stuff that can get taken out of context.
Golems are like a part of Jewish folklore.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that.
Do you know what a golem is?
It's what's a golem?
A golem is animated clay.
Really?
Yeah, like you ever heard of like a stone golem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like animated clay or earth.
Yeah.
It's a part of like Jewish mythology.
Okay, word. And that'd be just a dope unit you're thinking about?
Yeah, there'd be a unit you could have where it's like they have fucking these types of golems that are animated through the magic of their connection through the Hebrew Yahweh, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I feel like Jews wouldn't let that shit fly.
Nigga, I'd be more worried about Muslims, and nobody has a problem with the Iron Sultanate.
Alright. There's been a lot of anti-secular talk in recent days. I don't know, Brian.
Anti-secular talk?
Isn't that what the term is? When
For what?
people are like being racist to Jews.
No, anti-Semitic.
Semitic, my bad. Anti-Semitic speech. There we go. Yeah.
What's that got to do with a game that's not anti-Semitic?
No, it's just that they can twist it into making it look a certain way. So this is politics shit. It's a game, but I feel like the reason why they didn't do it off rip is because like of the same thing me and you're talking about right now. It's cool, but like, would they get fucked with because of it? Maybe.
I think it's easier for them to find how do you say
Christian based and Catholic based things.
well, because all you gotta do is make it where it's the Crusades, but Islamic and Christians teamed up against hell, basically, but didn't team up. They just fought hell for real instead.
Yeah, and they still fight each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they already represent like another group through heretics. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's a human. Like, they have three groups. They're like
the heretics are. I mean, they have actually like 7. It's like the Heretic Legion, the Black Grail, the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, New Antioch, Trench Pilgrims, and the Iron Sultanate. That's like 6.
Mm-hmm. So they probably only have room for like one more group, anyways.
That is a lot of factions. They did kind of give out a lot of content, and it's like kind of dense.
We have Necrons, all Space Marines, and all the fucking legions you can think of.
Technically, they're chapters now.
Or all the chapters you can think of. We have Orcs. We have Tau. We have Sisters of Silence.
Well, the Sisters of Silence, you count them as a different faction?
Because
I would count as the factions. I would count the factions like this. These are the factions: Necron, Terminid, Human Imperium, Chaos.
Space Marines.
Space Marines aren't a faction.
You don't consider Space Marines a faction?
They're not a faction. They're a unit in a faction. The faction is their alignment and their goals and their purpose.
So you just consider them human then?
Yeah, they're Imperium. They're Imperium of Man.
Okay, so Imperium of Man. Okay, continue then.
So yeah, Imperium of Man, Necrons, Terminids, Orcs, and Tau. So 5.
There's only 5 for real.
Oh, and Chaos. So that's 6.
Okay,
and then actually Chaos is not its own faction. There's 4 factions in Chaos.
In Chaos, yeah.
So that would actually turn 6 to 3 more. So it'd be 9. So they actually have like 9 factions.
And then do you also include the elves and stuff?
Oh shit! Yeah, they have a shitload of factions. I really didn't even think about it. That's like the good elves, the Eldari that are actually cool, the dark elves. But then also there's a sub faction that's separate, the clown mask.
Yeah, that's a whole faction too with different.
So that's 13.
And they all have different rules.
Yeah, it's like 13 factions. You think Trench Crusade can get up to 13 factions?
I don't think I can get 13, but I feel like 7's a good and safe number where it's like it's easy for. They could be the new entry point for people wanting to play these types of games.
I think it's way more accessible than Warhammer.
And then it's easier to understand as well.
Like, do you think you're going to understand wounds and armor and 6-up and all that shit in Warhammer?
And plus you have to paint the fucking thing in order to have it actually be used in your team because the colors even represent shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you really have to be dedicated to play Warhammer.
Yeah.
We just read some rules, used our imaginations, found something that we're agnostic enough for us to represent what the environment was. We were able to fucking play and get shit understood. Very easy. You know what I mean? Even as far as like the activation thing, I was trying to explain to the guy at work that I was talking to who plays 40K. And he said he's a part of the Discord where they kind of like fixed the rules for 40K and they made it a little bit more accessible as far as playing it for people. But I was trying to explain to him like even like the turn v turn activation versus like me and you were talking the other day, Warhammer, where it's like you move all your units to occupy this, so you guys get these points. But because the way it works, the opponent can move all their shit and just clear all your niggas out, and there's nothing you can do to respond to it. Whereas it's like, since we share a turn, it feels kind of like Magic to a degree, where I can still do something to defend
I can interrupt your shit.
Yeah, like you can't.
Just like I can down an unactivated unit, or I can out of action an unactivated unit.
Oh yeah, and there's a difference between unactivated and not deployed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can prevent them from even taking a turn in the first place. Yeah, I was doing that shit all day. The minute something got activated, or like, and I'll be real, that's really, really relevant when it comes to turn 2. Now it is relevant when it comes to turn 1, because turn 1 is deployment, right? So obviously if stuff.
Well, turn one is post deployment.
Post deployment. Okay, so turn 1 is when you can target deployed units. right?
Yeah, I mean.
Because when you deploy, you can still do shit on deployment, right?
No, the only thing you do during deployment is deploy. You just place your units for deployment.
So you can't deploy and attack?
No.
Okay, but you can attack if they're within line of sight turn 1.
Yeah.
Okay, word. And that's very crucial, because any attack can kill if you have the range.
Yeah.
We just need a bigger table, dog. I'm still down with this one, though. And is that also why we use the smaller pieces to represent that,
Yeah, the little bit more space.
Okay, word.
Kind of scales because our bases are way smaller, but that means that technically for my, like, if I'm going to be using shit like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should only have 2 this big,
mm-hmm.
right? 2 of the larger dice,
mm-hmm.
because my Sisters of Silence and my War Prophet are not large base like the Shrine Anchorites.
Okay, word.
Like, basically everything that has machine, if you have machine armor, it basically automatically makes you a certain size base.
Okay. Yeah, we discussed it earlier, so I understand. But are you down to get a match?
Am I done to get a match? I want to save that for a little bit. I still want to juice over what we got.
Okay.
And think about stuff. I'm still mulling, but at some point in the future we will.
Okay.
Especially when we start doing the campaign.
Okay.
You want to call it there?
Oh, yeah, we can go it.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, that's it for the sign off.
Alrighty.